morning, everybody. My name is Darlene, and I have Parkinson's. I'm going to put that up here, Bill. Thank you. Bill's just bringing me a drink. Getting put right up on the table beside me. Thank you. And then that way, I have something to drink while I'm talking. Don't know what I'm going to say. This is actually the end of our day. It's 8 o'clock at night. And we had a heck of an afternoon, evening. That's all I can say. We went up to the mall. Claudine had to update her phone. No, she didn't really have to update her phone. She had to get a new phone because her old phone had a whole bunch of things wrong and broken. So therefore, she went to the kiosk in the mall. Should have been a simple upgrade. She was ready for a new phone anyway. And it should have been just a new phone and then, transferred over. But that is not what happened. We were 2.5 hours at the kiosk in the mall. At the 1 hour and 45 minute spot, I thought, if I wasn't with her, she'd have lost her cool with these people. She was trying to be nice in front of me. And I said, really, what was going on needed to be stopped. It needed to be, the cool needed to be lost. And I knew she wouldn't do it if I was there. So I said to her, why don't you just take me to the car? Now, you have to understand, I went and I had missed my one dose of medication on purpose. My 3 o'clock medication I missed on purpose because I had taken a dose and a half at 12 because the physiotherapist was coming and I knew that I needed to be mobile. So I took a dose and a half earlier, so I missed the 3 o'clocks. But that already put me behind a pill plus behind a whole dose. And Claudine said, don't worry, the next dose is at 6 and we'll be home long before that. I said, okay, good. Well, we were out in the mall and I froze up within 10 minutes of being at the mall. And when I say froze up, I mean literally nothing was moving. Nothing. My feet, my hands, nothing were moving, which is quite painful. But anyway, I sat in my chair, frozen up, while she was doing her business. And finally, I said to her, after much hoopla, an hour or better, standing at the mall, I said to her, just take me to the car and then leave. I don't care how long it takes. I'll just be in the car. I'll be able to sit in a different position than I am in right now. And I said, you can come back in and take care of things like a McFate would take care of things. So anyway, she goes back in the mall. She was still another 45 minutes before she was finished. It was 2.5 hours before time was done. And in the midst of it, there was 3 people in the kiosk. One of them quit while she was there. The other 2 were fighting with each other in front of everybody. And she was just like, what is going on here? I just want my phone. But anyway, she finally got her phone and she got the few upgrades that she wanted or whatever, but it was ridiculous. These people were the most unprofessional people I can imagine. But anyway, that was the story of 2.5 hours of our day. Now, what did we do after that? Oh, before that, the physiotherapist and the occupational therapist came out to the house. And the occupational therapist noticed that my wheelchair didn't look like a very expensive wheelchair. Now, I thought it was expensive enough because we spent $525 on it, but it was just one that we bought from the medical supply place because it was narrow enough to work in the halls of this house. Because I was able to take it now because I've lost so much weight and I was able to do that. And the halls in this house are very narrow. So that was what we had bought, was this $500 wheelchair. But I still have my very expensive bought for me, other than my $500 deposit, or not deposit, what do you call it? Portion. That's my portion of the cost of it was $500, and then AIDS for Alberta Living covered the rest of it. So she looked at the wheelchair and she goes, that's not the wheelchair that was bought for you, is it? And I said, no, it's not. I said, we had to buy that one because I had lost so much weight that the other one, I didn't fit in the other one. And I said, this one, I said, I at least fit, but I need to buy a new cushion because we took the cushion off of the old one and put it on this one. And it's too big for there, so therefore I slide out of the chair. So we have to seat melt me in all the time. Well, anyway, she said, you're not allowed to get a new one through this other program for 5 years. And I said, oh, I know that. So I said, that's why we went ahead with this one. And she said, but there are exceptions. And she said, we can apply for an exception. And I said, well, what would the exception be? And she said, the fact that you can't use the other one because of the weight loss. And, so the other one is of no use to you. She said, we would be able to give the other one back and it could go back into the system. She said, we could work with the co-op where you bought this one and either get your money back from them and give it back to them. Or she said, they may give us a portion of what that is to go towards what your fee is on this next one. And she said, we might be able to get an exception. She said, we'll apply up to Edmonton and we'll see what they say. So we're going to apply for that, see what they say. And if they say yes, I will get this little one replaced with a much better little one. But if they say no, then we have this one here that will work for me. And the other one we'll just keep until such times as we can turn it back into them. Anyway, so that's what happened. Oh, and then, so that was occupational therapy. And then physical therapy came with them. And they helped me with exercises in my bed and in my chair. And I'm going to do them. They are just to get me mobile a little bit. And I'm going to do them for 4 weeks, as much as I can. And then at the end of 4 weeks, she's going to come back and show me how to do some strengthening ones. So therefore, I should start to be able to strengthen my core, which that's what I'm going for. So get some strength in my core. Maybe I can, eventually even do a few steps of walking. That would be just wonderful to me. So that's coming there. Oh, and I was supposed to do some special scan or something on Saturday at the hospital. And Claudine said, I think you've had that scan when you were in the hospital. So she said, let me check. And we checked, and yes, I had had that same scan when we were in the hospital. So we phoned the doctor who had requested the scan and said, can you just look at the one that has already been done? And they said, yes, they can. So I don't have to do that scan on Saturday. Okay, I'm just going to have a grape here. So I don't have to do that scan on the Saturday. So I'm happy about that. So, now what else is going on? I've got quite a bit going on in my life. Trying to eat more fruit. I love fruit. I really do. So I'm trying to eat more fruit. I laughed yesterday. Bill bought a sub sandwich for us. And he bought me a vegetarian one because that's what I like. But he didn't go down the line and say, oh, she'll have this and this and this. He just said she'll have a vegetarian sub bun. Claudine opened up the sub bun. And she said, Mom, look what's on it. And quite literally I had about 6 slices of cucumber, had cheese, and a smattering of lettuce, like a smattering of lettuce. She said there wasn't enough vegetables there to make a salad. And I said, oh, well, don't worry about it. I'm going to eat it anyway. So I did. I ate it. And then my son was saying, what country was it? One of the countries, and I've forgotten which one it was, wasn't allowed to call a Subway bun a bun. They had to call it a cake because it has quite a bit of sugar in the buns. Now, where normally buns don't have sugar or have very little sugar. Apparently the Subway buns, that's why you all like them, is because they're full of sugar. But anyway, so he said they called it a cake. So you went in and asked for a 6 foot long or 6 foot long. Good Lord, you be a pig. 6 inch long sub. And you have it, but you have to say a 6 inch long cake. Like, how stupid is that? All right, so now, let's see, what else? The occupational therapist and the physiotherapist that came to the house, they were such lovely girls. They really were. Well, I shouldn't say girls. They were women. They were women. One of them actually said she has a 21-year-old daughter. Like, she did not look the age for that. That tells you how pretty she was. Like, she was a very, very nice looking woman. And they're very nice people. Like, very, very nice. So I was quite happy about that. So it's hard to be enthusiastic about physiotherapy unless you're doing it for somebody that's really encouraging and whatnot. And she was most definitely encouraging. The other young lady was very nice. So anyway, that's what's going on. I don't really have too much more that I can say. I had ideas in my mind, but when I froze up when I was away at the mall, I kind of lost all my thoughts. I really did. So I'm not going to worry about them. I'm going to say I'm obviously moving now, so my next dose of pills has worked. And I'm just going to go, and I haven't watched hardly any of my videos. I've done some answering, but I haven't watched any of my videos for today. So it's 8 o'clock at night. I'm going to sit here. Claudine's out playing cards with her friends in the garage. Bill's down watching a movie down the hall. And I'm going to sit here and catch up on some of my videos from today. So that sounds like a pretty good evening to me. And I just wanted to say to everybody, thank you so much for joining me today. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye. No, I didn't get you off. All right, let me try again. Nope. Nothing's working with me. Okay. How am I going to do this? Let's see if I can get my finger to work. Oh, my goodness. Parkinsons, you're all over the place here. All right. I'll try with this finger. There we go.